President Biden is set to sign a historic bill on marriage equality today. The legislation protects same-sex and interracial marriages under federal law after passing with bipartisan support. ABC's Jay O'Brien joins me live from Capitol Hill now with more on that. Jay, this was a rare bipartisan victory. So how did we get here?
Yeah, and it comes out of the overturning of Roe v. Wade and concerns out of that opinion from Clarence Thomas, that dissenting opinion, or that concurring opinion, rather, that there would be a potential precedent to overturn other rights that were given through Supreme Court decisions, like the right to same-sex marriage and interracial marriage. So the House passes this law in July. Then it goes to the Senate. There has to be some bipartisan negotiations on how to make it more passable in the Senate, because you need 60 votes to pass anything in the Senate, so 10 Republicans have to flip. Eventually, there is a negotiation. There's a part of the bill. There's an amendment that's added to protect religious freedom, and then it goes back to the House, where it's voted on and passes last week, and now, of course, it's on the president's desk. So it's been a long process for this, but it's been a priority of Democrats in both the House and the Senate to pass this before January and before Republicans take control of the House of Representatives on January 3rd.
Now, the bill does not require states to issue same-sex marriage licenses. So how exactly does it work? Because it took a little compromise to get here.
Yeah, and it's really a stopgap in case the right to same-sex marriage was overturned. What it really does, this legislation, is it compels states to recognize marriages from other states, right? It requires states to honor all marriages. It does not require states, as you're seeing here, to issue same-sex marriage licenses, but it mandates that they recognize licenses in other states, meaning if same-sex marriage is legal in the state where you are married and that state recognizes it, and you move to another state where, in a world where same-sex marriage, the Supreme Court case had been overturned, then, of course, that state would still have to recognize your marriage. It doesn't go as far as some wanted, but this is the House and Senate's way, particularly House and Senate Democrats' way of in a sense, attempting to codify in federal law the right to same-sex marriage. It, of course, doesn't go all the way in doing that, but it gets close enough that House and Senate Democrats are satisfied.
Jay, how big of a win is this for President Biden? What do you think we'll hear from him at the signing today?
Well, it's a win for the president. You're going to see a celebration at the White House today. There are musical acts planned. The president is going to speak. There are survivors of the Pulse nightclub shooting there and other advocates as well. But it's really also a large win for House and Senate Democrats, who, as I said, were really under pressure to pass this before January. It was one of their priorities to get done in this lame duck session of Congress, particularly after Republicans won that narrow majority in the House in November, Diane.
All right, Jay O'Brien for us on Capitol Hill. Thanks, Jay.